We're back. Hello, public YouTube world. First time in a long time we've been on for everybody. Wow, look at everybody. I love it. That's cool. Hey, team. Kaylee, Javier, Fred Ernest. Hey, man. Hi, Fred. Good to see you. Elder P. Oh, man. God, Colorado car nerd. Super. I know several of them. I'm an Atlanta car nerd. I love the moose logo too. It's pretty cool, isn't it? We got a little help from Dave Barton on that. We got a little help from Ferrari, and then we added wings because the moose just got too good. We had to call it the Flying Moose. Hi, Brennan. Welcome back. Wow, great to see the gang here. MR used to watch me racing a Porsche on Speed TV. Yeah, Speed World Challenge. Remember that? We won 2 championships in 2 years. And then I raced one a lot earlier in 2001. That might have been Speed World Challenge because I think later it was Toyo, and then it became Pirelli World Challenge. Great. Hi, everybody. Break the record at the Nürburgring. Yeah. Oh, I could, but I need to study that road a lot harder. I just barely know it. I even raced the ring. I was running with Cooper McNeil, who you may know from his WeatherTech cars in IMSA right now. And I'm racing the track. And somewhere around the back part there, it's really fast offsets. And I'm like, I don't know what's next. It's hard to learn. It's so 12 and a half miles, just like Pikes Peak, 160 corners. Woof. And rough. Good evening, E28. Hey, I wanted to tell you, E28, I'm going to race an E28 5 Series at Sonoma with Jason Camissa, my buddy from Haggerty Icons and from back in the Motor Trend days. Jason and I have stayed, well, you know, it's a small world. We've stayed friends, and he's invited me to come run a Lemons race with him and Bill Arnold, I think it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sponsor, check out my Rebellion hat. Sweet watch. See, it's a Dakar. I don't know if you can read that. I'm going to Dakar in January with Rebellion Racing. I'm going to be a video correspondent. 2 weeks in the desert in Saudi Arabia. That's where the Dakar Rally is now. Can you believe that? We're going to ride in those giant MAN 8-wheel drive trucks. And Alexander Pesce and Romain Dumas are driving these 2 V8 powered buggies in the Dakar Rally, and I'm going to report every day. So don't miss that. That's in January. I got to get all my shots. I don't know, you know, hopefully I can go. We'll find out. Okay, here we go. Ghana Varun Paribatan. That sounds like India or Pakistan, maybe. Demon on Pikes Peak. Yeah. I love Pikes Peak, man. It's just too much fun. Thanks, Evan. Motor Trend or 24 Hours of Lemons. I like lemons. I was just talking to my members a minute ago. What? Nate Dog. Hi, Nathan. Nathan Amaral, U.S. Air Force. Respect. Nathan's up there going through hell learning how to be a soldier. Wish you the best, buddy. I'm thinking of you. December race Sonoma. Yeah, if the baby isn't here yet, I can come pit crew. Do it. Come on, Nate. That'll be fun. Yeah, Luke, come on out. Sonoma, Lemons. They'll have 100 cars in the race. And we're going to be in a highly overpowered BMW 528. I forget what the engine is, but this team cheats like hell, so we got to come up with some good bribes. Anybody has any ideas, let me know. Okay. Quarjet, you're a pretty good pair, me and Jason. Oh, thank you, man. I like working with him. We just shot a video with Jason Camissa for Haggerty Icons with big, powerful luxury sedans. And we may or may not have set some records at Willow Springs. You'll have to see. Oh, okay. Somebody get Randy an Xbox and a copy. Oh, yeah. I need practice if I'm going to race at the ring, which I'm not at the moment, but I would. I would love to be the guy to take do a Tesla lap record over there for electric cars. Gosh, they go fast these days. Everything goes fast. I just recently got to track a Tesla Plaid again, and the stability control does not intervene as badly as it did a few months ago when we had a brand new one. So Tesla always improving, always making it better. And now they got the heat from Lucid. You've seen the Lucid cars, which are very good, putting the heat on Tesla. And the Lucid guys actually came from Tesla. It's kind of a spin-off competition. And, Elon Musk, Elon likes being the best, man. I respect it. Nathan says, Saudi is friendly, but be careful. Be sure to take the time to read the CIA and Department of State travel info online. Their religious police will 100% pick you up for minor things. Yeah, religious police. Thanks, Nate. I hope you're okay, right, Nate? You doing all right? Hang in there, buddy. VIR next weekend? No, sir. Next weekend, I'm going to be at a body shop working on the Flying Moose because the whole trunk got tweaked at Charlotte, but we won anyway. And my buddy Jack was driving, and we had severe knockback problems. That's what Seth Mark is helping me with. Maybe you don't have to. He's looking at the calipers, trying to put some better bushings in there. So they're just single piston Volvo turbo calipers, and the heat's okay. It's just the knockback, and turned the car around. It was rear bias, and we tranked the whole trunk. I do not live in the Monterey area, but I love it out there. I live in Atlanta, outside Atlanta, near Road Atlanta. From India, loved your Tesla run and F1 analysis. Oh, thank you. It's so cool. Worldwide. Man, I enjoy that. Oh, I'm all Fordables. I'm all Fordables. Am I saying something like wrong? Thanks for all the content. Hey, you, thank you very much. Man, I appreciate that. I love it. And I'm so glad to still be doing stuff. A Polestar would be unbelievable, the electric one that they now have. There's Jeremy. What's up, Randy? 22-year Philly region SCCA. Wow, 22 years. Bravo, you got a ways to go. 41 years. I joined SCCA to go to the Solo 2 Nationals or Autocross Nationals in 1980 with Tom and Linda Blevins. And later on I married Linda Blevins. And she's still Linda Pobst, but we're not married anymore. And she still does ride and drives. And so does my beloved stepdaughter, Kelly, who's working for, I think it's Chevrolet right now, doing a automotive sales training tour. That's what a ride and drive is. That was my other career while I was building my racing career. And now my beloved stepdaughter, Kelly, has followed in my footsteps. So it's probably pro racing next, right, Kelly? Seth Mark, I'm working on the calipers, drowning in work. Oh, man, don't worry. Put it on the back burner. Yeah, you do what you got to do first. Oh, yeah, VIR Hyperfest. Oh, man, I'd like to go. But I got to get the Moose fixed. We got races coming, and I've got a young friend here who is a great body man. He put the whole front end on the Moose a couple years ago. We didn't wreck it. We just dented it so much. And then I got an aluminum hood. There's a Volvo that came with an aluminum hood. So, Jeremy, man, thanks for jumping in. What was your SCCA area? What do you do? Race, club race, autocross, corner worker? Hey, Richie Billings, how are you? Nice to see you. Bobby Johnson, Bobby, right back. To the floor. My stock plaid brakes are horrible. Yeah. Don't track a plaid on the stock brakes. They're just not meant for that. It's such a powerful car. I would go, yeah, I love the car too, but the brakes are not up to the power when driven really aggressively. I would go to for you, it sounds like you need a track pad. I'm friends with the guys at Hawk. I don't know if they make them yet, but they should. Put brake ducts in it, or go to Unplugged Performance and buy a whole brake upgrade kit. The plaid is so powerful and heavy, it needs bigger brakes to be able to be driven hard. Pro Driver 33, Randy, huge fan for a long time, bought a 21 SS 1LE. You're going to love it. I'm a 1LE fan. I own one, the baby 4-cylinder. They're just fabulous. They're just so well sorted, and you can take it straight on the track and it'll work for you. Very North Georgia, Chev Dad 1. Yeah, I love Very North Georgia, man. Wait a minute. Lake Hiawassee. How about Blood Mountain and Wolf Pen Gap and the Richard somebody Parkway? I go up there on my motorcycles, and once in a while in my cars, I cut through there in my cars. Love it. Let's see, Mechanical Maniac. I love it. Would love to watch you drive. Well, watch this channel. Wish you would lap wide body Hellcat Red Eye at Big Willow on summer tires and post your lap time. The Hellcat wide body is a little bit like the Tesla. Very powerful, very heavy. So, but it doesn't have that super low center of gravity the Tesla has. And it would be interesting to see what it would turn. I think we could run that car hard for a lap or two. It's got big brakes, but it asks for all it's got. You know, I drove a wide body Hellcat Charger at Pikes Peak. Loved it. The Chargers are fun. They're fun. But they're really a muscle car. They're not a track car. They're the Challenger and Charger. They're so big. They're a lot heavier than the Mustang and Camaro. So Dodge sells it this way too. It's a muscle car. It's a fun cruiser. Let's see. Jocko Cunningham says, hi. Hey, give him my best. Thoughts of driving in the Crown Vic race? Well, you know, I had a lot of fun, but it's very unruly and walls are hard. And I don't know, maybe Cletus McFarland, I drove the Freedom 500 race they had. I led most of it in the second half. And then I just fell asleep and missed the fact that the pace truck was not going to come out for the last restart because it had been damaged when somebody said, hit the pace car. And 3 or 4 guys did. Oh, how old am I? I hate you, Jeremy Anthony. No, I don't. I mean, look, here I am, 64 years old. Glad to still be here. Loving it. Love from Hershey. I've been through Hershey. Wait a minute. That's where they also have the weightlifter guys there, right? Or right nearby. Oh, no, that's in York. That's in York. But it's right nearby. When I'm going from Baltimore to Watkins Glen, I go right through Hershey and York. Is that right? I think so. Transmission swap in the Flying Moose. Actually, maybe someday I would like a BMW kit, but guess what? I have got Volvo M90 transmission in it that I got from England. My friend Robert Brockwell he gets them out of a junkyard, and the English know how to drive a manual, and these things are in great shape. We have had trouble with our clutch assembly over and over and over, and when the clutch fails, it kills the transmission because we're at a race and we want to keep running, and we keep ending up in one gear, but it's not the gearbox. It's the frapping clutch arrangements, the clutch assembly. How did I start racing? I started out autocrossing. Then when I got out of college, I saved all my money for 2 years, had my stuff in my parents' house. I was working on the road, saved all my money, and I bought a little car for a little series, and I got started. I don't think you can do that anymore. It seemed expensive at the time, but it's way more expensive now. I started in a 1985 Golf in Volkswagen Cup and in the Firestone Firehawk series. And this Golf was sold by Volkswagen for racing only. It was a pre-production car. They had a special deal, and it was $4,500, I think, $1985, which is probably around like 15,000 now, 12 to 15,000. We'd have to look up the math on that. It was a lot of money, trust me. And I just went racing and hung on. And about the time I ran out of money, I got hired by TC Klein, and we won the first 2 races we did, and my career was on the move. Thank you, TC Klein. First time I raced, I was 26 years old. First time I autocrossed, I was 19. So I started late. I didn't do any karting. Let's see. When am I going to do more testing with the Platinum that beat the McLaren? Oh, Soph. Hey, Soph, how are you, my brother? The Platinum. Wait a minute. What's a Platinum? There was a Zinger that beat the McLaren. Is that what you mean? Do they call that a Platinum? My McLaren time at Laguna Seca was beaten recently by a car called a Zinger, which has 2 seats in line. It's just another step towards a racing prototype for the street. Wow, what a car. Good to hear from you, Soph. Pharaoh Monk, hi from Daytona. I love Daytona. That's where my buddy Jack lives. I go down there and race with him all the time. Jeremy Anthony, tech worker. Did I know Brian Holtz? Probably, but the name doesn't ring a bell. You know, I meet a lot of people at the races. Sophian, the plaid. Oh, not platinum, the plaid. Well, we'll see. I've got my good friends at Unplugged Performance, and I'm always ready to go out and drive the plaid and go faster. 8-piston calipers for the plaid. I don't know if Unplugged has the system yet, but we had upgraded brakes when we did Pikes Peak, and I'm pretty sure I know they sell an upgrade for the Model 3. And check with Unplugged Performance for anything to make your car faster, okay? Vertreza, thank you very much. I appreciate your support. It feels good. Thank you. And oh, look, official merch. You can buy this on the randypobst.com website, and we have ladies' versions. Ooh, can I show you my lady? Okay. Nate Dog, man, I'm looking for pictures here. Hang on, let me show you my model. I got a model for my lady's shirt. Here she is. This is Brittany, and that is a ladies' Flying Moose t-shirt. Brittany is married to a guy named Ryan who works drift events. He's a judge, and he was helping put on the drifting events at Long Beach Grand Prix. This is at Long Beach Grand Prix. See that Mitsubishi in the background? That's a Mitsubishi Evo 10, built by my old buddy, tuned by my old buddy Mike Kojima from Moto IQ website. You may know that. And owned by CSF Cooling, Ravi Dolwani. Ravi, thank you for the ride. We had a great time. Let me give you a better picture of that Mitsu. It's bad to the bone. 700 horse, monster turbo, sport compact, Mitsubishi Evo 10. Here's a pretty cool shot. Hope you can see this all right with me just holding it up. That was a week ago at the Long Beach Grand Prix in Global Time Attack. We didn't go very fast. There were some development issues. And then on my last big lap, I slowed down coming out of the hairpin to cool the car off, forgetting the finish line is another quarter mile down. Dummy. I still had turned my best time, even though I slowed down. Embarrassing. Okay, Paul Veltum. Hey, buddy. How are you? And the Badger. Uh-oh, wait, where'd it go? Here we go, the Badger. Thank you for your support. What are your thoughts on the new Nissan Z due out next spring? I'm really happy to see a Nissan Z coming back. I have not driven it. I cannot wait to. I like the styling, but I don't love it. I wish it was more tribute to the 240Z, which is, to me, one of the most perfect cars ever made. And it has never gotten, well, it's just starting to get the appreciation it should have gotten a long time ago, because when they came out in the 70s, they were cheap and they made a million of them, but they were fantastic. I had a rusty one in college because that's all I could afford. And in Florida on the beach, man, if you ever took your car to the beach, say goodbye. It would rust out around the windows and it would rust top down, but the chassis would still be good. Unlike you Northerners, where you have salty roads, it would rust from the bottom up and the suspension would be falling apart and all the nuts and bolts are frozen with rust, but the body still looks good. So what you do is you get a Northern car and a Southern car, and you throw away the top of the Southern car and the bottom of the Northern car, and you got one perfect rust-free 240Z. Also had a Datsun 510. At one time in college, I don't know how I ever bought these cars. Thank you, Dad, for paying for my college, so I had money for cars. I had a 72 240Z. I had a 72 Datsun 510, no floor, rusted out. And I had a 1970 Datsun 2000 Roadster. I used to say I have the three best Datsuns ever made. And in my book, they may still be the three best Nissans ever made. Fabulous cars. Thanks, Badger. I can't wait to drive one. They look cool. And anytime there's a new sports car, I'm all for it. I got a feeling it's going to still kind of feel like a 370Z. But I'm ignorant about how much they've changed, if it's an all-new chassis. Let's see, Carbon Fiber Llama. You bring hope to us racers that are starting an older age. Yeah, you can do it. Trust me. Be smooth. Look and think ahead. Don't work too hard. Do what the car wants. And if the car's not right, pit and fix it. Man, I looked through my old messages on, what was it? Instagram. I get message requests, and I don't really have the time to go over there and look through that very often. And I met a guy named Joe who was asking about coaching. And I said, sure, man, let's get together. Let's do it. Well, he asked me, I don't know, 3 to 6 months ago, and he lost it and crashed his car. And I'm like, oh, not that I can prevent crashes, but I can help. And he said he had plateaued. And anytime you've plateaued and you want to start pushing harder, that's very dangerous time. You want to get your speed a little bit at a time. And part of where he got in trouble was he was coming out of a fast corner and he got a couple wheels off the road. Pardon me. And I think he's sensible and he hadn't gotten off the road much. Advice: anytime you feel like you are not going to stay on the pavement, straighten up, drive even. Don't try not to change anything. Don't brake much. Don't steer much. Get it all in control and then real easy back to the pavement, because your outside wheels are in the grass or dirt. And when they come back to the pavement, they'll grab it and they'll spin it to the inside. So you got to come back real gently because it's going to grab it. All right, team. Someone at my school drives a Model 3 that has Randy Pobst livery on it. Cannon Sloan. Hey, I'm honored. Thank you. Take a picture and tag me at Randy Pobst. That'll work, won't it? Or pound Randy Pobst, or I should know this. Oh, all right. How would I compare the 5th gen Z28 to the 6th gen SS1LE? The 5th gen Z28 Camaro. This is from Doug B. Great handling car. Did everything right. We loved it at Motor Trend. It was our car of the year. Best driver's car. Excuse me. It was our best driver's car. had that fantastic LS whatever it was, or LT whatever it was, a great 500 horsepower, normally aspirated, I think 427 cubic inch motor, great engine. But the SS1LE is on the Alpha platform, which is a real step forward in handling, and it's 300 pounds lighter. SS1LE. But guess what? I did a track day at Thunder Hill not long ago, and I was chasing a Z28 with something good, because ZR1 or maybe an SS1LE, Nate Dogg, maybe it was your Camaro. And wow, it was not easy to keep up. And I'm pretty good. So this guy was driving that Z28 well, and it was still a tribute to just how good those cars are, because it's a lot heavier. Chevrolet has a really good high performance division there. When my friend, he's in electric cars now, Al Oppenheiser. Al did a great job with all the 1LEs, are just really good handling, braking, cooling, power, everything. And I don't know if he was on the fifth generation, the 2015 Z28, but I bet he was, because that car worked beautifully and was much better than any other Camaro of that generation, even though they look really cool. I like the two round headlights, like half covered. It's a cool look. Here we go. We got a top chat from Clayton Brown. Clayton, thank you very much. Would like to get into some SCCA events or some light events. I've done some work with other instructors. How would you get in touch to work with me for some coaching? Okay, number one, takes a lot of money, but you can write me through my website. That's a reliable way. It goes to my assistant, Anne, and she will get it to me. I live in the Atlanta area, and yeah, I'd like to do it if you're up for it, and we can find some time. Thank you, Clayton. I appreciate it. Some SCCA events. Autocross is a great way to learn how to drive at the limit without risking wrecking your car. I started out autocrossing. I didn't know any better. I drove like a maniac, and I hit pylons, not walls. I would have wrecked a lot of cars if I had gone straight to a racetrack. I don't recommend it. Also, get car control training. Skid pad. That's something that I want to create. Any investors out there want to work with me on creating a small test facility where we will have a skid pad and an autocross and learn car control. Not a full-on racetrack. It should make the insurance better. We'll keep our school cars quiet, because unfortunately our race cars, we love the sound, but it gets us in trouble with everybody that lives within 5 or 10 miles of the track. And people are moving in next to racetracks, right? Everywhere. At Thunder Hill, it's a pig farm. The trucks or the race cars disturb the pigs. At WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, it's those high-dollar homes on the mountainside across the valley. When I first raced at Laguna in 1986, there were no homes on that mountainside. Now there's a lot of them. They're big, and the owners, they want peace and quiet, and they got a lot of pull. Anyway, Clayton, yeah, write me through my website. There's a click there to work with Randy. You can also send me messages on Instagram or Facebook. But like I said, I kind of get a lot, and I appreciate it. I love them, and that might not be as good a way to get a hold of me. So do that, please, and that'll get to me. And thank you very much. Okay, love the video at the Freedom Factory. Jet Jocks 2000. I had fun, but it was threatening. I was racing with people who didn't know how to race and who didn't know what that wall feels like. It's hard and it hurts. Exusly, do 1 in a million. 1 in a million you are. Oh, thank you. That means there's 330 of me in the U.S. I hope not, because that wouldn't be good. I got through the cracks of motorsports, and now I'm a real icon in motorsport. I'll tell you, you don't know how close it was a few times in my career. In 98, I had no real ride. I was driving a club racing M3 with a great guy from Miami. That was my ride. And then Chuck Snipes let me drive his budget rent-a-car Ford Mustang Cobra R, which was a lot of fun, and a couple races. And then I bumped into some of the crew guys from Alex Job Racing. This is 1998, in the garage at Watkins Glen. And they knew me from seeing me in Florida all these years. Alex Job was from Florida. And they said, "Psst, hey, Randy, we might need somebody. Hang around." I got to do a practice session in the Alex Job Racing 911 RSR, set up by Greg Fordall, one of my favorite engineers and one of the best handling race cars I've ever driven. Got pole, won the race, and took a whole step forward in my career. Thank you, Alex Job and Greg Fordall and the whole team. That was a great team. You know, those special seasons, 99 and 2000 and 2001, especially 2000 with Bruno Lambert from Seattle. Bruno, if you're out there, hi. Thanks for that ride. We won a couple races. We almost won the championship. It was cool. Okay, I'm falling behind here, team. Luis Rodriguez Sobarzo. What legend, Mr. Randy. Oh, thank you, Luis. Luis, thank you. Michael Reed, I'm 54 years old, young man. Track my car at Watkins Glen. Love it. Probably 10 days a year and would love to see you there. We've run track masters at Chin Motorsports. Chin, good buddies of mine. Watkins Glen, long way. I've towed there a couple of times from Atlanta. Whew, that's a trip. But I love Watkins Glen. I think it might be my favorite U.S. track. And, Laguna Seca's up there. Thunder Hill, that simple SCCA track, fantastic. Sebring, really fun. Atlanta Motorsports Park, I love the variety of the corners. And then the, oh my God, last corner, be careful in turn 16. It tightens up and goes off camera. Spending time together. Hey, Randy, for canyon carving and mainly spirited driving on city roads. Not too spirited, man. You need to be on the track. I can tell already. Would you choose the Miata or the new GR86? I would go GR86. Jason Camissa said it's fantastical. It's got some torque now, but I had an RF, a retractable hardtop NC Miata, and I loved it. And the ND is just that much better. And the ND2's got that high revving engine. They're both fantastic. I think I might like the 86 a little bit better. Hard to say. I haven't driven them back to back. Okay, Pro Driver 33, Nathan Amaral. You probably mean his SS1 LE that I got to drive with him just the other day. Nate Dogg is a flyer for the Air Force. He's a pilot, new guy. He flies the heavies. He just explained to me why I saw this, big cargo plane, C7, C5, bouncing off the runway. He knew exactly what that pilot did wrong to have a bouncy landing. Nate Dogg and I, we tracked together. Anyway, his car's not a 21. He's had it longer than that. I think it's a 19 or an 18 SS1 LE. Nexusly, I delivered roundtable pizza to you at Laguna Seca when you test drove the CTS-V. What? Wow, that's so cool. That was probably best driver's car with Motor Trend because we work all day and we bring they call up the pizza. Thank you very much for delivering the pizza. That's so cool. Elder Pa, interesting to hear you got a late start. I did. It's not common to hear, but buddies, this was 35 years ago. Maybe there is hope for the 20-somethings that haven't gotten their foot in the door yet. You know who one of the best guys out there is right now is Tom O'Gorman. And he's working on making a pro career, and I admire it. And I ran one lap of America. He was in one of the other cars, and his driving was very impressive. And I told him so, very impressive. In fact, all the top guys one lap of America, you drive all the way around the country, and and you drive legal on the street, and then do a hot lap at a racetrack. I think it's 3 laps. And then you drive 500 miles to another track and do 3 hot laps. It's really fun. And I was in a Porsche Cayenne in the SUV class, and we won. There was one entry. But thank you, Enrique Ramirez, for taking me with you. And it's his son, Eric. And, oh, gosh, who was that great guy? We had 4 of us and a U-Haul trailer. And we ran well. We finished mid-pack in an SUV among the Camaros and ZR1s and Porsches and stuff. So I was happy. We were the most comfortable by far, because you put a Cayenne in comfort mode, and buddy, it's comfy. It's soft and cushy. Mark Francis. Hey, if you're the Mark Francis that rebuilt my wrecked car in 1995, love you, man. And gave me a motorcycle. Honda CX500, perfect, in the garage, 35 years. Thanks, Mark. Hello from Southern Ontario, 45 minutes from Mosport. Where? Oh, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. One of the greatest tracks on earth. Oh my gosh, Mosport, turn 2 and turn 4. Yikes. I had my very best qualifying run in my entire career there. Thank you to Andy Pilgrim for sharing your data. He was my teammate with K-Pax Racing. And for our engineer, Will Moody. Wow. And we killed Ron Fellows in qualifying. Ron's the greatest guy. He owns Mosport. To outrun him, you know you're going good. There's Nate Dogg. Nate Dogg has a 19 SS1LE. 1LE_Nate on Instagram. Nate's a great guy. Hook up. Charles Coleman, champ car is going to Ozark May 1. You possibly enter. Hope to race against you. Yes, it is very possible that we might race there. Ozark Motorsports Park, it is, I think. It's in southeast Missouri. It looks pretty darn cool. They got a really long track, lots of corners. It's in the Ozark Mountains. They actually go into southeast Missouri. I was just up there with a group called Driving the Ozarks. Michael Clark, I think, was my host. Wonderful guy. We had a lot of fun. We drove the roads. It was cool. Man, this is amazing. B. Tracy, I really miss the racing line. Aw, but you can see him again. Dustin Rapp says, hi, Brittany. Dustin is the world's greatest crew guy / sponsor / friend on the Flying Moose race team. Dustin, love you, man. Honda car guy, have ever raced in an S2000? I have tracked S2000s. Love them. Feel a lot like a go-kart, light, quick, and that revving engine. What is it, 8,500 or 9,000, depending on which generation you have? They're fabulous. I don't think I've ever raced one. I had an offer recently, but I didn't get a chance to get in it. That would have been at the, so many races. I think that was at the Lucky Dog race at Ridge Motorsports Park in Seattle. Ridge is a great track. Great fun. Let's see. JO0. LOL. I'm dying to get more seat time. Hearing his late start gives me hope. There is hope. I'm 64 years old, and I dare you to beat me. I'm still fast. And I'd like to be in a pro race, but I don't know. Those young kids make me nervous. The moves they make, they don't understand the vortex of danger and don't hit what you can see. It's all about, if the guy ahead of you turns for the corner, it's too late to make a passing move. That's a closing hole. That's the vortex of danger. This is something Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen did recently. Lewis was already turning and Max tried to stick his nose in. And then he's like, oh, you hit me. You can't see that guy. He's in your blind spot. I want to take that worldwide. I want to take that to the FIA and see if I can sell it. because we need better education about what proper passing is due to the natural laws of vision and passing and time, speed, distance. Okay, I get fired up about that. Clayton Brown, I'm definitely going to have to get me one of them shirts. Thanks, Clayton. You can buy them on the Randy Pobst website. You just go in there and we have a hoodie. We have a long sleeve shirt. We have children's. How cute would that look on your kid? But thank you. Yeah. Who am I missing here? Canalupine. Canalupine. I'm here. I'm in my 30s, not rich. That's a problem in racing. Better to be rich. Anyway, not rich and driving a homebrew modded 2014 Mitsubishi Mirage in the mountains. Probably no hope for me to get into serious racing. LOL. Well, there are no rules. There are no rules. Don't wreck that thing in the mountains. Driving fast on public roads is it's risky. And my best advice for you driving in the mountains on your modded Mirage is to look into the corner. Look ahead as you enter a corner down to the inside edge, because from the mountain roads, you got to look out for the decreasing radius, the dreaded decreasing radius. When the corner is getting tighter, if you're looking to the inside edge, you'll see that as soon as possible. Keep your eyes in. Even when you're getting into a corner too fast, keep your eyes in, because your fear will make you look at what you're afraid of hitting, but your eyes direct the car. You go where you look. Keep looking into the corner, and it will help you make that corner. Because on the highway, especially on a mountain road, you cross that center line, everybody dies. I'm not kidding. You got to stay on your side, especially when you can't see around the corner. That's a great fear. I love driving in the mountains too, but I'm always worried somebody's going to come the other way, cross that line. Don't be that person. Keep it on your side of the road. Let's see. Enough preaching, right? Jamels, hey man, thank you. Gosh, I appreciate the support. Jamels, just saying thanks for pushing EV tech and racing. Honestly, I'll race anything, but I appreciate the good things about EV, like the instant torque and the low center of gravity, and good grief, they're fast, or they can be. As you probably know, the Tesla Model S Plaid is the fastest accelerating car ever tested by Motor Trend in history. Production car. It'll also beat a lot of drag cars, especially if you're not on a prepared surface. If you're not on that VHT at the drag strip, I don't care if the guy says his car is a 7 or 8 second car. You're going to kick his tail, because he's not going to be able to get that poor thing off the line on a dirty highway. Oh, Colin Harrison. Wow, thank you. Appreciate the support. Watched you as a kid on Motor Trend. That kills me, man. But I started Motor Trend in 2009. That's 12 years ago. So, Colin, say you're 22 years old. You were 10 when I did my first best driver's car at Motor Trend. I'm real thankful to Motor Trend for all those hot lapping and best driver's car. And I'm also thankful to Haggerty Icons. I just did my 3rd video with Jason Camissa this week. It'll be a few weeks before it's out. It's the big luxury fast sedans. BMW M5 CS, fabulous. Cadillac CT5V, fabulous. Cadillac CT4V, handles better than the CT5. And a secret car. Thank you, Colin. I really appreciate it, man. I just finished my race at Sebring in the TCA class. Oh, dude, how'd you do? If you have any advice, I'd love to hear it. Thanks again for all the great content. Colin, go super fast, almost never crash, and be good to people, because you never know when you might meet them. It's a small world. But once in a while, you come up against somebody who's a real scumbag, and you don't have to be nice to them. but don't let them drag you down. Don't let the turkeys drag you down. Be honorable, race hard and fair. Like my friend Bill Oberlin, his whole career, my hero, I raced him a bunch. He raced me so hard it would like make me sweat blood, but he never stabbed me in the back. And I don't see him doing that to anybody else. And every so often, you're going to get it wrong and bump a car, but you got to work not to. That's my advice. Thank you, Colin. I really appreciate it hearing from you. Ed Cochran, EVs are now faster than gas. Now you just need the cannonball. Oh, no. I'm not going to run that cannonball thing. No 150 on the public highway for me, buddy. That's not my kind of sport. Hey, Randy, do you think the Hyundai Santa Cruz Ford Maverick are the new Subaru Baja? Heck yeah. No, the Ford Maverick is more of a pickup truck. It's got a bigger bed. It's a real pickup truck. But the Santa Cruz has the proportions of the Baja, basically a wagon with a little bitty pickup bed on the back where you hang your mountain bike with the front wheel off the back. Pretty cool car. I'm the American version of Tiff Needell. Well, thank you. I'm honored. I've only seen a little bit of Tiff Needell, but he seems like a cool guy, and he actually is a good driver. For a journalist type, really good and funny. Colin, I'm 20. See? TCA. Good for you, man. When I was 8, I first saw you and heard how you talked about cars and was like, oh, yeah, I like this dude. Thanks, man. I think I like you, too. You've been great so far. Came 9th today. It was a hard weekend for our team, but we made it work. Look, it's not always going to go your way. Chin up. Be good to your team. Those are the guys bolting the wheels on. And you just stay on it. I'm curious what car you were driving in TCA. Honda Civic, Subaru BRZ, Miata, MX-5. Daniel Morris, Randy can handle a live stream just as well as he can handle a monster on the track. I want to see more of Randy lapping new stuff around Willow Springs. I'll tell you what, watch the Haggerty Icons. I've done several videos with them lately. It could be that the Motor Trend era, it's definitely slowing down for me. Motor Trend did not do best driver's car this year. And I'm ready. You know, I love them at Motor Trend. Had many, many good years there, like Colin says, since he was 8 years old. But Colin, get your car control the best it can be. Correct. Pause, recover. Skip Barber Racing School. Correct. Pause, recover. So you don't wreck much. It's important not to wreck much. You need good car control. And shoot, there's a lot we could talk about. Let's see. Joel Pierce, hello from South Texas. Okay. Where driving is year-round. Nothing like sweating, waiting to run. Oh, yeah. I was raised in Florida. I know exactly what you're talking about. So you're down there like Houston area. It can be hot and sweaty down there. Let's see, what do you got? You got a couple of tracks with similar names, like, what is that? Motorsport Ranch. There's a couple of those. One's in Dallas and one's in Houston. I don't know, but I know what you mean. But the thing is, I'm good at hot race cars because I was raised in Florida and I'm skinny, and I don't mind the heat. It's hot in there. Ricebox, I bet the secret car is a Lucid Air. Camissa's been praising it on his podcast with DTS forever. Yeah. Derek Tam, yeah. That podcast is Carmudgeon. I heard Johnny Lieberman saying a lot of good things about the Lucid on Motor Trend as well, and on his own personal site, Johnny Lieberman's Instagram page. Dolby 109. I've said it before. Randy and Tiff are my 2 race heroes. Dude, thank you. That's good of you. Appreciate it. Feetball. No 2.4 hours of Le Mans. I enjoyed watching you at Freedom 500. Thank you. I don't know. I love Cletus McFarland. He's a cool guy. I hung out at his place before the race. But some of these races, I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. Who is this talking about? My old buddy Boris said. That's hilarious. Boris is a cool guy too. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Colin almost had a rough time today. Someone brake checked me in turn one and slid the whole turn, and it just killed my tires. Didn't stuff it though. Good. Hard on the tires, but didn't crash the car. So that's good. Brake check. Yikes. That's not good. Maybe he was losing his brakes. Was it late in the race? You get surprised that way. They break earlier than you expect. Ernie82, always enjoy your content. Thank you. You seem like a really nice guy who puts out great content. Thanks for all you've given us over the years. Wow. Thanks, Ernie. It's going to keep coming right here on the YouTube channel. I got a plan. I'm going to announce it to you guys first. We have a good relationship with Atlanta Motorsports Park, and we did one video. We did kind of a test fire of the new Mach 1 versus the Camaro SS1 LE. Put that out, and we got a really good response to it, even though we had some issues, because I made that come together in one day. Thank you, Kellen Goins, for supplying your car. He had just purchased that. Turns out the brakes were worn out and the suspension was a little worn. And the Mach 1 did not have a track alignment, though, and they ran almost the same time. It was fun. We're going to do more of that. That's the plan. Watch this channel for that. Okay. John Osborn, my video guy, he says that I really ought to do that Cletus race. I wonder if they still have an opportunity. The 2.4 hours of La Mullets is a little longer, and there's two drivers, and it might be a little calmer. We'll see. I'll tell you this. At the Freedom 500, they had 22 cars start the race, Crown Victoria police cars. 28 total, counting the 5 or 6 spare cars. At the end of the race, in the last restart, there were 8 cars running. 20 got destroyed. 20. And it was a good show, though. I haven't seen the show. I'd kind of like to see the show, but I saw it from the driver's seat, and I just wanted to get out of there with my skin. Okay. By the way, Cletus has got the Danger Ranger 9000 coming up. You're going to want to see that race, but I don't want to be in it because I think it's going to be pretty crazy. I'll make a good show, though. Don't miss it. What do I think of the Nissan Z cars? You mean the new ones or the old ones? 240Z, best car ever made, especially for the value. Wow. The 370Z, 350Z, fun cars. Love them. The 370 engine's a little rough, like a school bus, but it runs good. They got a great exhaust note. You always know it when you hear one. And they're in a good price point right now. You can get an older one, make a track car out of it, have a great time. Nissans are really well made. What are your thoughts on RB26 swapping a Datsun 240Z? I think that sounds like a really hot car. All-wheel drive or two-wheel drive? Oh, gotta be two-wheel drive. I mean, all-wheel drive. Wow, an all-wheel drive 240Z? Wow, for rally, I guess. But I like rear-wheel drive, and that would be a lot easier. Okay. Boris is very cool. Rocket Surgeon 1. Yeah, he's got a BMW dealership in Temecula, California. He's done well. I have a garage full of old motorcycles. Please talk about autocross. Basketball 798. Well, I started out autocrossing because that was all I could afford. It was very accessible, and it was not very threatening. And I had a Datsun 510 two-door, 72. What a cool car. And I bought it because it was lowered, and it had a rear anti-sway bar and orange springs and shocks. So I knew it was something special. I was 18 or 19 when I bought that car. And that car was only about 6 years old. It was pretty nice. And I started autocrossing. I was pretty good at it from the beginning. And from my very first run, I fell in love with the sport of driving fast. And it gave me an outlet, so I didn't have to try to race on the street as much. I've always liked going around corners fast, though. I do, but I don't race on the street. No, no way. For one thing, you don't know who's in that other car. I got some stories about that. Some of them are on my friend, the cannonballer, Ed Bolian's site. uh, and I'm going to start doing stories like that on my site, like going to Knoxville when the three cars tried to race in front of me. That's a good one. Tiff Needell was a British Formula One racer. Oh, thank you. Oops. It's funny. I'm a racer. I'm a race driver. I don't pay a lot of attention to other races, just the ones I'm in and the ones that my friends do. Michael McKenzie, should I put my E30 on dirt? Hell yeah. Canadian rally stage nearby. Live 8 hours from any road tracks. Oh, yeah, you should do it, but careful. Easy to crash in a rally. Sliding on the dirt, trees, rocks. I'm a closet rallier. I've always wanted to run a rally. Closest I've been is Rallycross. SCCA does Rallycross events. My good friend Morgan Doe, that's her Instagram name, let me borrow her 325 drift car. And in fact, it's been parked in my side yard. I said, Morgan, hey, your car's in my yard. I'm going to go Rallycross. And she said, it's all yours, buddy. Have a ball. And we did. And I loved it. Rallycross is fun. And driving in the dirt, sliding around. And my only advice is to set your car up loose because you want to be able to turn that thing. And oversteer is good. It's so much fun. Let's see. Ron Geary, my buddy from Palm Bay Tire 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Hi, Ron. Love your channel. What's on your plate for next year? YouTube. Yeah, and I do a lot of that, like the budget endurance races, the fun little races. And every so often I get to drive some incredibly nice car. And but the endurance races I like because people let me drive their cars. And I really enjoy trying stuff out. I have my own Flying Moose Volvo 740 Turbo. Hey, check out this poster. Anybody remember that 1997 New Speed Honda? Thank you, TC Klein and New Speed for making that possible. That was another big step in my career. We won the Drivers' Championship that year. Car was really powerful, really fast. Tricky handling. It was always kind of loose. Never really got it hooked up like I wanted. We didn't have the budget to test very much. We were racing the Dodge Stratus factory team. And when a privateer team beats a factory team, you respect that because the factory team was a good team. They just didn't have the horsepower. And we won it on horsepower and not wrecking. Oh, okay. What else we got? It's starting to get late. I warn you, we can't go too much longer. Tiffany Dell was a real race car driver and he had a lot of personality. So I got that backwards, right? Good for him. Chris Sanders, thanks for all you've done for the sport. Seemed to be a great teacher as well. Look ahead and be smooth. And when you get on the power in a corner, you should only hold or be more. If you ever get on the power in a corner and lift and go back, you went to the power too soon. Look ahead and be more patient. There's a moment entering most corners where you have to be patient and let the car get aimed at the apex. Don't go to the power until you know you're going to make the apex. We could go on, but we're not. Ricebox, you know what would be interesting? Mike Musto versus Randy Pobst on bike. I've heard Musto did have a few professional bike races before he even started writing about cars. Well, I've never raced a motorcycle, but I've always ridden them, and I love them. And I did do a track day for the Motor Trend show, Throttle Out, with Ari and Zach. I don't think that show's on anymore, but I love those guys. And they got in a car, and I got on a bike. And I think I did okay. They said it was okay. I was 10 seconds behind. 10 seconds is not bad tracking a bike for the first time ever behind Ari and Zach. Although they were closer in the car, but the car has stability control. Of course, the bike had wheelie control. That helped. New Nissan D could what's that? So10 says, "Hi Randy, love what you do. Thank you. What are your thoughts on the new Z? Could it be the new perfect all-around sports car?" No, the Toyota 86s. But I don't know. I haven't been in these cars. My Motor Trend gig has kind of slowed down because I'm a freelancer and they're using their regular staff over there. And I haven't tried the Z. I would love to. If somebody has one, bring it out. We'll test it up at AMP. That'd make a good video. And could it be the new perfect all around? Yes, it could. It's possible. It's like the next generation 370Z, right? And that was a cool car. Default username, Pikes Peak is a rally, technically. True, a special stage. It's like a special stage. And I just learned about Dakar from my Rebellion Watch and my Rebellion Racing friends that Dakar also does special stages. I'm going to be over there. I've said this earlier, but for the new guys, I'm going to Saudi Arabia to the Dakar Rally in January. How about that? No, I'm not driving. I am a video correspondent, taking my video friend Seth with me, and we're going to send back daily reports and then do a overall video at the end of the event. It's 2 weeks long. Romain Dumas and Alex Pesci are the drivers. They're driving mid-engine buggies. Last year they had a Ford V8 in them, 5-liter V8. Super cool. Built by Romain's shop in Europe. Amazing experience. Thank you, Gary from Rebellion Racing, for hooking me up with this deal. It's going to be amazing. Let's see here. Colin, don't want to keep you, but I race Skip Barber, the Skip Barber TCA Civic Si. Wow. Cool. Good for you. First time racing a front wheel drive car. Believe it or not, loves to slide around, so I love it. Did you grow up karting, Colin? Don't slide too much. But in a front drive car, you want it to be loose before you go to power, because when you go to power in a front drive car, you only get more understeer, with the possible exception of a locked front differential. UCF alumni, Billy Ince. Yep. UCF Knight, graduated 1981 or so. Red Dragons 13. If you could only have 3 cars for the rest of your life, what would they be? Datsun 240Z. Right now, I'm a huge fan of the Porsche 911 GT2 RS. I don't. That's a boring, trite answer, but I drive all the supercars, and that one works so well all around. Puts power down. It's just. And then I would need something really weird, maybe old. I've always liked a Saab 93 bullnose 2-stroke. I had one in college, a wagon. And I need the one with the suicide doors. How about those 3 cars? No, I'd probably need a truck. I would need a truck to tow. Just 3 cars isn't enough. Is there anything that you could track and tow with? Cadillac CT5? V? Maybe? Meilu Fuji, Dakar Rally is awesome. Yes, it is. It's in Saudi Arabia now, in the empty quarter. Most of Saudi Arabia is empty, and they are permitting the Dakar Rally to take place there. And it is the empty quarter of Saudi Arabia is the size of France. So there's plenty of room to run a big rally. Okay, great advice. I only push my 19 Z06 M7 on the track and autocross. People are crazy on the street. That's right, Joel. And a Z06 is a super powerful 650 horsepower vet. Not a good idea to go crazy on the street with that. It's just a matter of time. Motor Trends, slow down. I just finished duct tape drags with Freiberger's crew without MT. What? Really? Freiburger's great. From Roadkill and from Hot Rod Magazine. Yeah, things are changing, but that's life. Jay Duntman, love this. Haha, my wife just came in the office. Who is this? Well, he convinced me to buy my car. Also, long story. What did you buy, Jay Duntman? I don't know if I'll see your response. Do I want to try Spec E46 again? Yes, I drove one out in Seattle at Pacific Raceways. The SCCA invited me out there, and my friend Scotty White, thanks, Scotty. And it was great. NASA Trek Endurance. Oh, NASA's doing endurance. I'm in, Philip. Message me. Let's do it. I drove a 330 that was a lot like a Spec E46 2 weeks ago at VIR in WRL racing. It was, we had to restrict it and make it a little heavier, and it was the fastest car in the slowest class. And we won with Craftsman Auto Racing. Matt Curry, thank you very much for letting me drive with you. We had a ball. So yeah, I'll try it. Let's see. Sanjay, wait a minute. Sanjay, is that my buddy Sanjay from Texas? Sanjay R. Randy. No, that's a different Sanjay. How does the ZL1 1LE stack up in the pantheon of performance cars? What are your favorite things about it? Favorite things about the ZL1 1LE is it's a 1LE, so it does everything well. Stop, handle, shift, cool, everything. 1LE. It's very powerful. The ZL1 1LE is a Camaro with the 650 horse supercharged engine. And unlike the Corvette, it's got a big enough grille to adequately cool everything. It's hard to keep a 600 horsepower engine cool. And the only bad thing about it is it rides super stiff on the street. Everything else about it is good. Also, in the pantheon of performance cars, it's heavy. It's 3,900 pounds. Whereas a McLaren or a Pagani is under 3,000 or only 3,000 or 31. In today's world, 3,000 pounds is light for these 600 horsepower cars. So that the ZL1 will not run with a properly set up Corvette because it's a lot heavier. But it's hard to properly set up a Corvette. And the Corvette's going to want to overheat. And the ZL1 will not. It will go and go and go. All good things there. You guys know I love any 1LE Camaro. Is the RPF one of the best track day wheels you can buy? I think so. I've got them on my Moose. I bought them from Tire Rack. And that's the right place to get them. And you know what? We were bending one every race. They're very light. And I thought these wheels are too light. Then we put real shocks and suspension on the Moose. Guess what? No more bent wheels. I was using bump rubbers as the springs, and the spring rate goes up very rapidly, geometrically. So when we would hit a big bump, it would impact hard and bend the wheel. We have not bent an RPF1. I think is that an Enki RPF1 wheel since we put real suspension on the Flying Moose Volvo. Pro Driver 33. I'm thinking about a ZL1 6-speed next, but I might get a C7 Z06 7-speed instead. Oh, you just heard my opinion on that. The ZL1 cools better, has tied down handling. The Alpha platform is right. Corvettes can be really twitchy dicey if they're not exactly right. Hint, if you have a C7 Z06 or a Z7 Corvette, make sure the rear caster is right. Whoever checks rear caster? I learned this from Mike Levitas of DSC Sport and Turbo Performance Center. The rear caster, if it's not right on a C7 Corvette, will cause bump steer, roll toe out, which is perfect recipe for a dicey, tricky handling car. Every C7 I drive handles differently. And I think it's because it depends on the wheel alignment, among other things, of course. But the rear wheel alignment, and especially the caster, is critical to a C7Z06. Sheldon Torrey, most overrated modern supercar. Uh-oh, I don't know which car you're talking about, Sheldon, but maybe you mean the Corvette. It's got to be right. And I drove one 2 or 3 weeks ago on a track day with Nathan Amaral, Nate Dogg. That was, oh gosh, who were the owners? It's for sale too. A woman owned it at Thunder Hill. That car handled great. It was so hooked up in the high-speed corners. The brakes were toast. Wouldn't stop, and they apologized for that. But they had the setup on that. It was a ZR1. I think it was a ZR1. Mega powerful, and a woman owned it. Related to a Chevy dealer out there, I think. Oh gosh, can't remember the name. Nate Dogg, you can help me. Hey, Tesla track time, track and tow with a Model 3 Performance. You can tow with a Model 3 Performance? It's got the torque. Mark Krusemer. Hey, Mark, how are you? You're a karting Waldo. Lamborghini is a good track and tow vehicle. Oh, yeah. Urus. Get the Urus. And you could actually track that. That's the SUV, but I don't know how great it would be. The Huracan, on the other hand, is fantastic, and the Performante, even better. Let's see what karting Waldo said. Uh-oh. Shouldn't have done that. I'm back. Oh, good. I didn't shut you guys off, did I? I jumped over to a message. Colin, I really appreciate your support. Thanks for jumping in there. Here we got an interesting guy. Black conservative patriot. Hey, we love America. Thank you for your support. I love that you have loved your work for years, sir. So glad that you're here on YouTube and not having to wait for Motor Trend to hear and see your takes. Oh, hey, more's the better, right? I have my own channel. I can do whatever I want. And I do. Thanks for being so down to earth. Much success to you on YouTube. Dude, thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. And we're going to do some fun stuff. And my current plan, you're the first to hear it, is to start my own hot lap show and do it at Atlanta Motorsport Park. Now, the pieces are not all put together. I'm talking ahead, but we've done one show. It went very well. We learned that we have to be a little more careful about our cars and get them all spec'd correctly. But it was the first show. The Mach 1 was in town. It belonged to a friend of mine. And I said, boom, let's do it. And thank you, Kellen, for allowing us to hot lap your SS1LE. It was fun. I had some tires here, some Sport Cup 2s, set up both cars. It was great. Thank you, Black Conservative Patriot. I appreciate it, man. That's just fantastic. All right, what is it? 10:39. Not much longer. Paul Newman had a Volvo wagon with a 5-liter V8. Yeah, that was a cool setup. Paul Newman was an amazing guy. I don't know if I met him, but in 1986 was my second year of road racing. My good friend Lawrence Brown had rented my Volkswagen Golf VW Cup car, which I still own and which is being restored now, and which we did a video about just recently on the Randy Pobst YouTube channel. He rented that car for a driver's school at Roebling Road in Savannah, Georgia. And we drove up there, and I wrecked my van on the way up with 6 or 7 people in it. That's another story. Fortunately, nobody hurt, just dented a fender. I fell asleep at the wheel and learned that I need to be more careful, especially when I've been up late all week getting a race car ready. That was a scary moment. We got lucky on that one. Man, I could have killed all my friends. Whew. We got away with that. We went to the driver's school. Who's there? Tom Cruise and Paul Newman. Tom Cruise is doing his first driver's school quietly at a little SCCA event in Savannah, Georgia, and his instructor is Paul Newman. Wow! He was in a Nissan 300ZX showroom stock car. And Tom Cruise has a lot of driving ability. He also was very aggressive. I mean, he was a young movie star. and a young man, and he was aggressive, and he was out there just cooking. And then he ran a few Firestone Firehawk races with us. And it was really cool to have a star with his stature around. And I didn't bother him. I wasn't going to go bother him. And that's just not the right thing to do. But you can come bother me because it's not bother. I love it. I'm not that famous. So when I run into somebody who knows me, it's like I've met an old friend. Oh, Henrik Poliquin. Hey, Randy, you're the reason I bought my 17 SS1LE Camaro. Still love the car as much as the first day I got it. Same blue as your review. Oh, I love the blue. Brilliant blue. People tell me that all the time. You buy a 1LE Camaro, if you want a sporty driving car, you're going to love it because it's fantastic. Dolby 109, Randy, do you do much twisty back roads? Yeah, a little bit. Given I can't really afford track time, that's been my favorite pastime. I drive 6 hours a few times a year to get to the tail of the dragon and do roads nearby. Oh, are you from South Georgia or Florida? When I was a kid, I used to drive all the way to North Georgia just to drive a windy road. I love it. I don't do it very often, but I just did it 3 days ago in California, shooting the video with Jason Camissa for Haggerty and Icons. And it was amazing. It was fun. But like I said earlier, did you hear my rant? If Dolby 109, if you're going to drive those winding mountain roads, don't cross the line. If you miss one of those decreasing radius corners and you cross the line, everybody dies. Not only do you kill yourself, you kill the innocent person in the other car. So be careful. Drive smart. Drive with your eyes. Look to the inside edge of the road. Don't get on the power until you see the road opening up. And don't push that hard. You got to leave a little extra margin on the highway because there's too many unknowns. Bad things could happen. Pro Driver 33 drove a GT3 once. It was the most incredible thing I've ever driven. It was at BIR too, my home track, BIR. Brainerd International Raceway? Are you in North Minnesota? That's a cool track if it was. I drove a GT3 there too. GT3 is great. Any of them are great. Why does the 1LE Camaro stock outperform a GT350 stock? Well, Bondar Chuck 84, that's debatable. They're close. But I do believe the 1LE with the same set of tires would run with or faster than a Shelby GT350R. I'll give you a couple of reasons. One, a 1LE is very well set up for the racetrack. Two, the 1LE 6.2 liter has more torque, more bottom end, whereas the GT350's got a rev. It makes good horsepower up high, but it doesn't have the mid-range and the torque, and torque wins races. But the two of them are very close. I'm not sure, we're real sure which one's faster. Sounds like a Randy Pobst hot lap video needs. I don't remember ever seeing those cars run on the same tire. Now that's a tall order though. For my little video, we'll see if we can work out deals on tires. We'll see. Roebling Road is an awesome track. Rocket Surgeon 1. Roebling Road is sweepy and real fast kink on the front straight. Oh, I remember I did my first driver's school there with SCCA in 1985. And I ran a Datsun 260Z, another reason I'm a big fan. It had springs and shocks in it. And because it was the streetcar type classes were in their infancy then, I think it was an IT car technically, but they let me run it. It had a roll cage, 4-speed, 260Z. If you rejet the carburetors like the former owner did, you can make those things run good, and it's got a header. It would pull 6,000 RPM in fourth gear on that front straight, which was pretty much its top speed, 130 real live miles an hour. That's fast for a Datsun 260Z. That thing ran well. Yeah, I like the track. Dolby's question is great. Do you ever run back roads? Yeah, definitely. Love it. North Georgia has a bunch of great ones. usually go on my motorcycle. But like I keep saying, hey, I've seen some crap happen in my lifetime, and I keep a pace where I know I got this. I can keep it in my lane, no surprises, looking into that corner, because every corner can be a decreasing radius, and you got to be ready for it. Don't cross the line. If you do, everybody dies. And I want all my buddies to be fine. Oh, here's one. RHTI 40, which should I get? CL 600, big, luxury, powerful. Stinger, sedan, roomy, reasonably powerful, brand new. CTSV, powerful Cadillac, sporty sedan. Or C8. What? C8, 2 seats. I mean, if it was my choice, I'd go for the C8. I love the car, the comfort and performance. It puts power down. It's amazing. It's got reasonable trunk space. You can put golf clubs in the back. That's part of why it's so wide in the back. Stinger is the most practical. CL600 has the best image and luxury. And the CTSV is a luxury hot rod. That's a load of fun car, especially if you get the older one naturally aspirated. That was a great engine. Great engine. That's my answer. I'd love to see a 5-cylinder, 5-speed Volvo Amazon in Go trim, driven by RP. I would like to see a 5-cylinder too. I would be cool to put the turbo 5-cylinder Volvo engine in the Flying Moose. They make kits for that. It would be bloody fast. Too fast, probably. Claudia, hello, new here from Texas. Hi, Claudia. Thanks for dropping in. Pro driver, Northern Minnesota. So it is Brainerd where you drove the GT3. Have I ever been to a track in New Hampshire? Why, yes, I have. Palmer, and I think I've been to Club Motorsports, and I've been over there. Some of these might be in Vermont or Connecticut. They're all pretty close together, right? And then what's the Loudon? What do they call it? New Hampshire Speedway, International Raceway has a pretty cool road course. I've been there. Yeah, good fun. Sean here just picked up a 6-speed Camaro ZL1. What would I recommend as the most effective driving training to work towards being able to use all of what this car can do safely? Autocross, track days. I used to work for Skip Barber Racing School, and I learned so much from their skid pad and car control. Now, there's been a change in ownership and a recalibration, but Terry Earwood still works there. And I would make an effort to go to school when Terry Earwood is there. But get skid pad training. Your 6-speed ZL1 is very powerful, can easily spin the back tires, and you do not want to become one of those videos leaving cars and coffee. Spin the back tires and woo. Yeah, a good pro school. The Bob Bondurant Racing School has been reborn under a new name, I believe. It was a good school at the time. I recommend that. And I've probably got other friends I'm ignoring right now. But get car control training on how to correct a slide. I don't mean drift. I'm talking about how to correct the slide that's too big. It teaches you where to lift or where to look. And drifting is great. I mean, I think it's cool. I think it's fun. I'm a closet drifter. I'd like to do more of it. I do it for camera on Motor Trend and Haggerty videos now. I'm not as good at it as I wish I was. So, yeah, car control. That's my answer. Let's see. Sean Lunny or Looney. Sean Lunny. Track time fixed me. Don't drive hard on the road anymore. That's good advice. It's a good strategy. Track time gives you a place to let it out in a safe environment. The driving too fast on the road is not a good idea. It's one of the things I'll tell you what I like and don't like about the Dragon in the East Coast, North Carolina, that famous stretch of road. One, it's famous, and a lot of people go there that don't know what they're doing and might cross that line and kill me. But what I do like is the road is so tight that for the most part, you can have some fun and you're going slow. You're going, I mean, I've looked at the speedometer, I'm doing 30 and I got tire squeal. And so I like that. Let me make sure I'm taking care of my contributors here. Ted Sarmiento, thank you very much. Hey, Randy, longtime fan. For my 40th in 4 years, young man, do you think I should get a Porsche 718 Cayman 2.0T versus Nissan Z 2025? Hoping the chip shortage is irrelevant. 400 horse V6. The Z has 400 horse? Thoughts? Teddy, New York City. I'm not well qualified to tell you what the Z is like, but I have spent a lot of time in a 718 Cayman Turbo, and I think it's fantastic. One of the best handling cars ever made. Stock. Warning, if you lower a Cayman, as most sporty cars do, including the GT4s, it screws up the rear toe curve. There's something not right when a Cayman is lowered, it starts getting rolled toe out. Now you can improve that by running a lot of toe in. This is my advice on GT4s, and a lot of rear compression to quicken the weight transfer so it'll hook up quicker. But stock, though, at stock ride height, it's one of the best handling cars ever made. The Z, kind of hard to argue with a 400 horse V6, but that 2-liter turbo is a torquey 350, as I recall. The engine doesn't sound great, but boy, does it run good. It has way more low-end torque than the beautiful Porsche Flat 6 does. Sorry, shoot me. So very much a personal choice. Hard to go wrong there. Personal choice. I think that Z is going to be cool. I have not driven it, so I don't know. 2025? You meant 2022, right? That's supposed to be coming out soon. 718 Cayman's a great car. Don't lower it. Thanks for the support, Ted. Let me scroll down here, make sure I'm not missing anybody. Track time is the best time. Watch driving fails. Gatekeeper 1, watching driving fails, cars and coffee, etc. made me a much safer driver. Don't want to be that guy. Turn off the stability control, spin the tires, woof, off the road into the fire hydrant. Happens all the time. Has happened right in front of me in the middle of the night by people who had no idea it was me watching. Scary. Car Control is doing a power slide in the snow, but in a 26-foot box truck, 2-story canalupine. I'm glad you got away with that. Oh, woo. Did you do it on purpose? Or did it just get slick and you had to correct? Whenever you're correcting, keep looking where you want to be. When the car slides more than you want, keep looking where you want to be, because everybody has hand-eye coordination, and it would help your hands and your feet do the right thing. If you're not looking the right way, your hands and feet are not going to do the right things. Your hands aren't going to correct enough, and your feet are going to get on the gas or stay on the brake too hard. If you want to turn, you got to brake lighter, because you can't brake and turn a lot at the same time. Man, I'm so happy to hear from everybody. Let's see. Michael McKenzie, going to pick up some studless winners for the E30. Toss it around on some old fire roads. Yeah, but be careful. Those trees are hard. They will cut your car in half. But I've done a little bit of that. It's fun. Just be smart. Be smart. Don't get carried away. Let's see. Colin Harrison, also being with Skippy, is the first professional coaching I had. Before then, I was all self-taught. Yeah, self-taught. Me too. That's funny. When I went to work for Skip Barber in 1989, I had won 6 national championships with autocrossing. I had won professional races, but I have never had professional instruction. And I learned a lot, but I had the reference of all that racing to understand that what Skip Barber was telling me was really, really good. Let me show you something. I'm not sponsored here. If any of you people read this book, Going Faster, the official book of the Skip Barber Racing School, written by my good friend Carl Lopez, is really, really good. Read this book, and you can pick up a lot of the stuff they're going to teach you at the Skip Barber School. It's always better when you do it by driving. But here they're talking about apexes and when to turn in. And even though this car it's from 15 years ago, it's the same stuff. I read Piero Taruffi's Technique of Motor Racing book. It was written in the 50s, and that stuff still applies. I read it 35 years ago. Let's see. Dolby 109 used to daily drive a 94 Z28 6-speed. I had one. Fun car. In all seasons. That was back when we got snow. Yeah. It was colder then, wasn't it? Joseph Yang, I skipped my barber in the last 2 years. Yeah, no skip. I gotcha. Don't skip your barber. You want to short on the sides. I need to get the right haircut, so I can stay relevant. Here, watch me get younger. What up, dude? Oh, no, that doesn't work. The sponsor's not showing. Rebellion, going to Dakar. C32 AMG is my German sleeper, Chris Sanders. Fun supercharged V6. Long live the DTM. Good car. I drove one that was manual swapped out at Hallett in Oklahoma. That was a cool car. Nathan's out there. He's helping. There's one in New Hampshire. Nate Dog. Here's one. Aikido Duke. Aikido? You mean the martial art? My friend Lawrence Brown did Aikido for many years. That's pretty cool. What do you believe the future of Tesla is with the big name auto manufacturers getting into the electric car production for themselves? Thank you, Randy. I think Tesla's future is bright because they were first and because Elon Musk is brave and adventurous and is willing to take chances. And Tesla has really opened the door, and they built a lot of goodwill. And it just amazed me the first time I saw a Tesla 10 years ago, maybe it was, how good it was. And it was made in the San Francisco Bay Area. What? Amazing. Okay, I hear that people say there are quality control issues. The panel gaps aren't great, but I don't know. But when I drive them, they work. And they're comfortable, and it's just really nice. Let's see. Couplelack. What a legend. Still rocking the live chat. I know. It's 11 o'clock, people. I think it's bedtime, but you know what? Great. Nathan Amaral, I'm so happy to see you on here, buddy. He's going through some tough training with the Air Force right now, so keep a good thought for Nate Dog. He can do it, though. He's a great guy. Dolby 109 from Dayton, Ohio? Dude! Yeah, that's where I was born. Rocket Surgeon says Tesla won't sell you parts and doesn't support their product or customers. Uh-oh. Well, I don't know. I just like the cars. Keith Green, I have a 16 GT350R or GT350 Shelby currently and have a Lotus Emira V6 manual, first edition on order. What are your thoughts about that? Big step towards the sports car world from the pony car world. Both great cars to drive. I have not been in that Lotus, but I've heard good things from people who have. And let's see, including, I think, Jason Camissa liked it a lot. And I like Lotuses because they tend to be lighter and more maneuverable. I don't like Lotuses because they tend to oversteer a lot. The British love oversteer. And I have not driven this new Lotus, though. So once you get it, Keith, you let me know. Ajit Mirwani, how does someone make a career out of driving and racing? Whew. I started in autocross. I didn't have much money. I saved all my money and bought a little race car. I started working for a racing school once I got a little bit of experience. And I also, while I was racing the small series, not making very much money, I was working automotive sales training, ride and drives, automotive driving events. That was my path. Yeah, I think it's harder now. You need more money than ever. It's good to be an instructor because you might meet somebody who's going racing who has the money, who will hire you to be their coach, hopefully co-driver, and take you endurance racing. It's a great gig. Several of my friends are doing it. Here we go. Grumpy John, the redneck from Texas. What is this? Hey, Randy, are you going to be running Pikes Peak with a Cybertruck next year? Oh, yeah. I hope for a Roadster. We'll see. But I do intend to be back at Pikes Peak with Unplugged in an electric vehicle next year. Don't know what it might be. For instance, this year we got the Plaid 2.5 weeks before the event. Great job, Unplugged Performance, putting that car together. Let's see. Ajit has worked his whole life and wants to make racing his pastime in retirement. Oh, well, if you've got a little money, you can just go do track days or club races. And that's easy. Becoming a pro driver, that's hard. It's like, I want to become a rock star. Okay, I'm all for it. Good luck. It's not easy. No rules M6 wants a 7th gen Camaro. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Camaro is winding down because Americans are buying only crossover SUVs. I don't like them because they're tall. It does give you a good view in traffic, I have to admit. But I don't like the way that tall center of gravity feels. I don't like that. I don't care if you say your SUV's high performance. I feel that body roll and weight transfer from the high seating position, and I don't like it. I'm a race car driver. I like it low. Ken Sherman. Wait, that Ken Sherman? Old autocrosser? What else did you say, Ken? Hiya, buddy. Yeah, I know. Lotus Elan. Good to see you, Ken. And then a Lotus Esprit. You hawked your soul to buy that car. Hey, bye, Nathan. Catch you later, buddy. Good luck out there. Ken Sherman, great to see you, man. Hey, we're going to have to say goodnight. What is my daily? Camaro 1LE 4-cylinder. Great car. Huge bottom end torque. Sucky high RPM power. I want to find a nice turbo kit to wake it up, but it's still under warranty for now. Love the car. It's more a sports car than muscle car, but it's got plenty of power for me to have a good time on the street within limits. I don't want no damn 500 horsepower street car. I'll be in jail or the hospital. Have I driven a McLaren F1? No. And you know what? I was at a race at Lime Rock about long time ago in the 90s. The McLaren F1 was still pretty new. He was in the late 90s. And an acquaintance of mine owned one. He had it at the Lime Rock race, and he's like, here, you want to try it? Can you believe that? And I said, no. Oh. I still hope the opportunity presents itself in the journalism video world. It might. I get to drive some pretty incredible stuff, like Pagani's. I got a lot of track time in Pagani, and in the McLaren Senna GTR, and in a Lexus LFA. I tracked one this summer. How many people hot lap a Lexus LFA? Not many. And it was pretty good. It was a little loose, like I remember, but it would like rotate and then hook up. And when a car rotates real early on, it makes me careful. I had to drive it a little bit to get comfortable. And best exhaust note ever, the LFA 10-cylinder has a wonderful sound. Philip Hoffman, hey, thanks for jumping in there, man. Hey, you back. Thanks, Philip. I appreciate it. Would I have an interest in racing electric? Well, I've done the Pikes Peak Hill Climb and I've hot lapped them. Racing one's a little tough because they use up the battery quick, but they're doing it in Formula E. And you know me, I'll race anything. Of course I would. It's fun. Rocket Surgeon, who gave thumbs down? You know, you can't please everyone. That's something that I've learned. It's like Ricky Nelson, Garden Party. I learned my lesson well. You know, you can't please everyone. So you got to please yourself. And then if other people agree with you, you found your friends. Secret for life. We're going to have to say goodnight now. It's been a pleasure. Bill Oberlin. Yeah, ask him. I was preaching earlier about how I have the greatest respect for Bill. I admire his ability to race you so hard your eyes bleed, but not stab you in the back. And yeah, maybe he's bumped somebody off the track before, but I never saw him do it. I raced with him for years. And plus, he's like the best driver racer ever. I don't have many heroes in racing. He's one of them. Thanks, everybody. We're going good night. Oh, look, here we go. 11 Wizard popping in there at the last minute. What do I think of Fieros? 1988, V6, manual transmission. Yes. I like Fieros because they are sporty American cars, and it was so great that they made them. I was there in the 80s. I don't like Fieros because GM released the car when it really wasn't ready. The 84 car had some issues, still looked kind of cool. Shifter's sort of up here. The V6 car helped a lot, but then in 88, they got everything right and they killed it. And you know why? Because they were thinking about putting a V8 in it, and because the car was getting so good, it was a threat to the Corvette. Maybe you never heard that. They thought about putting a V8 for Pontiac's sake, a V8 Fiero. What a cool car that would have been. And some people do the swaps now, but it would have threatened GM's Corvette. And we all love Corvette. And I think they could have had both. Come on. But it didn't happen. So, yeah, Fieros are sporty cars. I like anything sporty. And they just didn't get it right. They released it too soon, which GM did a lot of in the 80s. And the Toyota MR2 was released almost the same time. And the MR2 was perfect. Everything was right from the get-go. And I think the Americans have learned from that. And we now make cars that are sorted out and good when they're released, like the 6th gen Camaro. The 5th gen Camaro was a great car. The current gen Mustang, what do they call that? The S550? I like Mustangs. I like pony cars. Oh, wait, we got to say goodnight, everybody. Peter's Auto Vlog. Yeah, driving McLaren F1. Are you kidding me? Would love to try it. Aloha from Port Townsend, Washington. Wait a minute. I know, of course. Yeah, my buddy, Port Townsend, he lives in a motorhome up there. He did, and he's got a home in Cape Town, and I visited. Oh, what's his name? Oh, gosh, I can't remember him. Michael DeFonis' good buddy, and my good friend, too. Great. Great to hear from everybody. Oh, wait a minute. Daniel Hayes. Great meeting you at Pikes Peak Hill Climb. Drive e-golf rallycross first time. Destroyed BFG KO2s, but that's okay. Any hints on driving EV? Thanks. Well, EV's a little heavy. Make sure your battery's at the proper charge. Duh. And I haven't driven an e-golf, but Jason Camissa, my new best friend, owns one and loves it and says it got good torque. And it's a little heavy, so put the biggest darn tires you can on it and maybe bigger fronts than rears. The new secret tip to balancing a front-wheel drive car. A BFG KO2 is probably a good off-road tire for that. Also, a soft compound helps, though. I think the compound is even more important than the tread. But have a ball. Colorado Car Nude, good night. Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. It's been so much fun. See you at AMP in that GT350, Brent. People emptying their pockets so Randy won't close the stream. I'm all for that. Oh, that's funny. Oh, gosh, yeah, Quadropodicone. What's his name? He's the greatest guy. I raced with him a lot. I can see his face so clearly. He was balding with that little ponytail. He's got a winery in South Africa. I actually went and stayed with him when I was down there doing the hill climb, the Jaguar Simula hill climb, which just happened recently. I got the mushy motor mounts replaced by my friends from Swedeworks who came down from Charlotte with these very rare, proper 740 non-hydraulic mounts. Hey, Pro Driver had bigger fronts back in 06. You're on the ahead of the curve, baby. Hey, thanks, everybody. Ajit, I mean wider, not aspect ratio. Put wider tires on the front and you can balance your all-wheel drive Audis and your front-wheel drive anythings. It's a very powerful factor. And if your car is pushing too much, go square. A lot of people fix understeer on cars that come with bigger rear tires than fronts by putting the bigger ones on the front too. BMW, Camaro, etc. Just don't go too far. Oh, Dolby 109. Okay, thank you. Thanks for jumping in there. I just got a 987 and my first mod was going to be H&R Springs because it's got like 2 inches of fender gap. I'd hoped it would improve the handling. I wouldn't. But just if you do, yeah, it'll look much better being low, but it won't handle as well because the rear toe steer, the rear bump steer gets screwed up. So if you lower it, Dolby 109, put a bunch of toe in. And I think in inches, quarter inch, 6 millimeters of toe in. I know it's a lot, but you may feel, put it in and try it, but be ready for that car to be real snappy at turn in. And that's one way to fix it, is to run a lot of rear toe in, or don't lower it. Here we go. Luke Walsh has promised $9 million of Monopoly money to ask any thoughts on the upcoming Z06 with the flat plane crank. Well, I hope they properly engineer this flat plane crank so you can race it. And I think they are racing it in American Le Mans. I saw them leading 1-2 early in the race at Long Beach Grand Prix, and they didn't sound like any cross-plane V8 I know from GM. So I got a feeling it's going to be good, but I'm not a big fan of flat plane cranks unless they're done right. For one thing, you can't have too much stroke. You can't have too much piston speed. And they vibrate a lot if you get too much stroke also. So be careful there. Do 987 Caymans have the same issue as 718s? I don't know. I think so, but I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for you. Sorry. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Currently, the Cayman drifts and it hooks up great. I know. They handle perfect stock. Don't mess it up. It's like a 1LE Camaro. Don't modify it. Okay, front negative camber. That's all you're allowed to do. Oh, Ted Sarmiento. Thank you. Uncle Randy, please tell us a motorcycle-related bedtime story for us folks who have to wake up at 5 a.m. for work. New York City again. Ted, let's see. Motorcycle story. I just bought a Duke, 690 Duke. And I love the bike because it's light and it's torquey. And I like my motorcycles light and torquey. And the greatest handling motorcycle I've ever ridden was a Supermoto. Now, a lot of you might not know what a Supermoto is. It's a motorcycle. Basically, you take a motocross or dirt bike, a racing motocross dirt bike. You put street wheels and tires on it, and you go ride it. The one I rode had no modifications except for the wheels and street tires. And it was unbelievable on the street. Now, this is on the Dragon, which is a tight, twisty road. I'm on a Ducati Monster S4R, which is a very powerful, great motorcycle. And my two buddies on Supermotos are just leaving me in the corners. We go into the corner, Ted, and that Supermoto guys just go, whoa. I'm like, what? And I didn't want to ride that Ducati any harder. They're kind of stiff. I have a 96 900 SS, love it, but the little bars, you don't get much feedback. With wide handlebars, it's like power steering. You get a lot better feel riding a motorcycle sitting up with wide handlebars than leaning over with clip-ons. That's just for aerodynamics, and it works at high speed. But we're talking about street riding. And so my buddy with the Supermoto traded with me, and he got on the Ducati. Now, I could catch him on the straight because the Monster S4R's got 140 horsepower or something. But the Supermoto, so we swapped, and I realized, oh, it's so light, and that cushy suspension helps you really feel the tire grip. And on a motorcycle, the tire grip is critically important, as you might imagine. On a car, you slide a little bit, probably no big deal, especially with stability control. But on a motorcycle, sliding that tire is a big deal, and crashing is really big deal. And the Supermoto, there's your story, Ted. Supermoto, dirt bike with street tires, by far the best handling motorcycle I ever rode, and loved it. And I want one, but I got the 690 Duke, which is an in-between compromise, because dirt bikes have very uncomfortable seats for riding on the street. All right, team. I'm going to have to say goodnight. It's 11:20. It's been so much fun. I drove a live wire. Yeah, it's fast. You're welcome, Ted. Thank you so much for chipping in on there. I appreciate it. I'll take it and buy dinner. I'll go out to Waffle House. They're open late. Love you guys. We'll do this more often because it's really fun. I appreciate you. And it's the next thing I'm doing. I'm going to be working on the body work on the Volvo next weekend. I actually don't race for a couple of weeks. I'm going to the Porsche Treffen at Road America and in Kohler, Wisconsin, to live the hoity-toity life. And I'm looking forward to visiting Throttle Stop, which are some friends of mine. It's a car broker / museum, cars and a ton of motorcycles in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Don't miss it. All right. Love you all. See ya. We'll do it again soon.